Okay, so for example number 2, we should always check for GCF first. So there is not a GCF here. They don't all have an X and they do not all have a number. So GCF is not going to work like it did in number 1. So I'm going to go to star method. Since there's no leading coefficient, this is just going to be regular star method. So 5 is going to be our addition number. Negative 14 is going to be our multiplication number. So let's think of all the things that multiply to be 14. There's 1 and 14, 2 and 7, and that's it. That's all we got to work with. So how do we get a 5? We get a 5 from the 2 and the 7. And to keep the 5 positive, the 2 would be negative. Let's double check. Negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. Negative 2 plus 7 is positive 5. So that is my 2 answers. So the factored version is x minus 2, x plus 7. So now from my factored version comes my x-intercepts, comes my value of x that makes my equation 0. So let's look at the first parenthesis, because if the first parenthesis is 0, the whole thing is going to be 0, because 0 times anything is 0. So the first possible x value would be a positive 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. It doesn't matter what this parenthesis is. The whole thing is automatically 0. So that's one of my possibilities. That's one of my intercepts. Now we look at the second parenthesis. What value of x is going to make that 0? Well, it's a positive 7. So to get that to 0, I would need a negative 7. Doesn't matter what the first parenthesis would be. It would be multiplying by 0, which would make the whole thing 0. So here are our 2 intercepts. Again, 2 ways to check your answer. You can type it in the calculator, or I like to see it visually just to connect it to, again, the fact that it is an x-intercept, which sometimes as we're doing these, we forget that it is a point on the graph. It's 2 points on the graph. So there's negative 7 as an x value with the y value being 0. And there's our positive 2 x value, again with the y value being 0.